Hey everyone, Dan Johnston here. I'm the Jack of All Ministries, here to help you make it happen. Today, I'm going to be testing the ArrowZoom Door Kit PRO. So let's see how this thing holds up. So in today's video, I get to try out a new product, and I'm excited to do this because right now I'm sitting upstairs in our rental. We currently live in the basement of our home, and we rent out the first and second floors of our home. And so we live under tenants all the time. And basically we have a door that goes from the main floor to the back door, which also is the same area where our stairs are that go down into where we live. And that is the weakest point for sound to travel. When we have renters, we can constantly hear their conversations. We hear plates clinking and that sort of thing. And it doesn't really bother us. However, in the future, what we want to do is we want to also rent out our downstairs while we're renting out the upstairs when we live in a different house. And so what we are patient with, tenants may not be patient with each other in the future, and I don't want to deal with a lot of problems. And so one of the things I need to do is address the soundproofing issue between these two sections of this house. When I was reached out to by ArrowZoom and they said that I get to try out a product, I said, you know what, I want to look at their door soundproofing kit and see if this is going to help us out. On the website, it says that this is a soundproofing kit, and if you've seen any of my soundproofing videos in the past, you probably know that soundproofing is a little bit of a misnomer. People commonly call things soundproofing when it's not actually soundproofing. If you want a more detailed explanation, I'll set up a link here so that you can watch my other video where I talk about soundproofing, or you can check out the next one, which is about sound treatment, and those are two very different things, and each of those videos will give you the basics of one or the other. And ArrowZoom makes a whole bunch of great products that you can use for sound treatment and different studio applications. You know, the standard studio foam, and then of course the door kit that I'm going to be testing out today. And I'm really excited for this because we have some tenants coming in about a week, and so once this is up, I want to see how much more quiet it can be where we don't have to hear what they're talking about all the time while we're downstairs trying to sleep. And because I'm testing out this product, ArrowZoom is actually giving a discount to all of you that are watching this video. So if this is something that you want to try out, or you want to try out any of their other items, you can actually get a 10% discount by putting in AZ-JACKOFALL, JACKOFALL, to get that 10% discount on any of the products that you can buy at their store. And this might be a little bit of a foreshadowing because I probably wouldn't be telling you about that discount if this didn't end up being a product that I think is actually a good thing. So I'm going to be testing out these panels because for sound treatment and soundproofing, because I don't know if they're foam. They actually seem, this is not actually what I was expecting. This may actually go quite a bit better than I thought originally. So these are actually a lot stiffer than I expected them to be. I thought they were just going to be, you know, regular foam or like the felty kind of stuff, but this actually seems, okay, so check this out. This is actually kind of cool. This is a good idea. So this is a two-layered product. So you have an adhesive-backed foam, and this foam is not, this is almost like an insulation foam, like something you would have on like a window for a air conditioner or something like that, something you'd put around windows or doors. And then on the outside, you have a layer of felt. And I'm going to measure that just to see. The foam layer is about 1/4 inch, and the felt layer probably 5/16. So it's a little bit thicker, but not very much, and obviously foam can flex a little more. So because now I've seen what these things are, I'm going to be testing the sound treatment properties as well as the soundproofing properties. I'm interested in the sound treatment stuff because this is denser than I thought, and it's also two different layers, so we're going to get that constrained layer dampening effect. So that's kind of neat. Still very lightweight, so I'm curious to see how well this is going to work. So when it came time to install, the first thing I did was I cut out two different panels of OSB that I could put on my door. There's a cutout panel in this door, which makes it really hard to install foam panels onto because you need a flat surface. And so I cut out the OSB, and I painted it black so that you wouldn't see any wood between any cracks. It also helps to seal it a little bit so it'll never swell if it gets wet, or at least it's less likely to. So cut that on the table saw, brought it in. I used some black silicone to adhere it to the door, and then I also used some 3/4 inch brad nails to tack it to the door to hold it up, and then also give it some, structural stability there. So on this door, I have 2 locks, one on each side that prevents us coming into this room or this people coming down into the basement right now. So we need locks on both ways. So anytime the door is open, it has to be mutual. I think I'm going to be able to expand this out a little bit so that I can put the plate right over top of the foam. And then when I'm done here, this part of the door, eventually I'm going to install another door on this side of it. So we're going to have 2 doors that you actually have to open one and the other one. So there's 2 layers of solid door, which is going to help with soundproofing, give us more opportunities to create seals and things like that. So, but for now, we're just doing this side of the door with those new panels. And then I decided to install the panels on top. And the way that I did that was I also cut those through the table saw to make it easier, because table saw cuts are repeatable. You could easily use a straight edge and a razor blade to cut these, but for the sake of it being repeatable and quick, I just ran it through the table saw, and then I used a lighter to just kind of burn some of the felt that kind of frayed a little bit at the saw. Not very much at all. Ended up being very clean in the end. So after this, I laid it out so that I would have 1 full panel going down the center of the door, and then 2 cut panels on the outside of the door. And I did that because the only other way to do it would be to put 2 full-size panels and then have like a 2-inch strip on either side, and I really didn't like that idea. Now, the product, when it comes, there's actually just enough panels to get a full-size door done. Because they're like 11 3/4 inches wide, you could have a pretty big door. You could get it onto a 36-inch door if you have edges on the outside like mine does. Otherwise, it'd probably have to be a little bit smaller than that. Or you need to order more panels, either way. So I went ahead and used the adhesive to install these. I didn't feel any need to use any other type of brad nails or anything to hold these down. The adhesive works very well. And I can tell you that because it got all over my hands and it's a little hard to get off, which in my opinion is a good thing. I'd rather have stuff stuck to my hands that I can wash off than have it fall off the door, like I've had happen with other panels in the past. I also removed the doorknob and both of the locks that I have. We have a lock on either side, one for the tenants and one for us, to make sure we don't cross that door unless we really need to. And so I actually was able to pull these out, and then there was just enough of a reach on the mechanism to where I could still install them on the outside of the foam and they'd still be functional. So that was pretty cool. I had to use a 1/2-inch piece of MDF to just kind of shim it up to make sure it was at the same level. Otherwise, when I tightened them down, it would probably squeeze the foam and kind of make it pucker, and I wanted it to stay smooth. I also ended up cutting out some small strips from the foam just to hang out on the bottom of the door to cover up where there's already a flap there to seal up the air gap, just to add a little bit more mass there on the air sealage. And that I think was actually a good idea because I had some pretty significant issues with not sealing up the air gap. I also went ahead and did some caulking around the baseboards just to make sure that I could fill in any extra gaps that there were around there. Sealing off the air gap in a door is really important because that's the weakness of a door. Doors aren't very thick, but the real way that sound gets around is by having keyholes, doorknob cutouts, gaps in the sides or in the top or bottom of the door. And so I wanted to make sure I sealed up as much of that as I possibly could. Once I had everything installed, it was time to test everything out. So when I first did the test, I set up my speaker, I set up my room measurement microphone, and I opened up REW, which is a room measurement software. It's great, it's free, I highly recommend it. And I set it up so that I could actually do a sweep, which is it plays a tone across the frequency spectrum at a certain decibel level so that you can see how it's different in all the frequencies that it gives instead of just one. And so I went ahead and set that up. I tested it with the door open first. And when I did that, my 85 decibel sound ended up being measured at about 75 decibels because the microphone moved from being directly in front of the speaker to about 10 feet away. So just by shutting the door when I first started this, I was able to reduce the decibel level by 26.4 decibels on average. Now this door had already been treated with seals on the top and on the sides, and then also with the flap on the bottom. And I had also plugged up the keyhole in the door handle. So just by shutting the door, I was able to reduce the decibel level by 26.4 decibels. So that's a pretty significant drop. But then when I added this foam, just by adding the foam and then also caulking up those gaps on the bottom, that was able to reduce it by another 5.4 decibels. Now that may not seem like a lot, but it is, and I'll tell you why. First of all, you have to remember that what we're really talking about is a little bit over a 30 decibel drop just by everything that's going on with the door system as it is, okay? So that's very helpful overall. But the other thing you have to consider is that everything above 12,000 hertz is virtually eliminated, right? You can hear basically nothing above 12K now. Now, that's not that big of a deal because there aren't a lot of sounds that are very loud at that frequency that are going to tend to bother people, right? It's a very easy frequency range to eliminate. The other thing you have to consider is that using foam is not going to eliminate bass frequencies. You're going to need a ton of heavy mass to stop low frequency stuff. And really, that's not the kind of thing I'm trying to block out, right? In this house, we don't have people up here playing the bass or something like that. And if we did, we'd have more issues than just the door. What I'm trying to eliminate is speaking frequencies, which the construction trades in the United States use something called the STC scale. And this is basically a frequency, a selection of frequencies that are realistic to hit with construction methods to try to eliminate. So this actually, we're getting more of a 10 dB additional reduction in this frequency band. If you go up and down the schedule here on the graph, you can see that, or the spectrum of the graph, I should say, there's quite a bit of a reduction there, 8 to 10 dB on up to 12K. That's a pretty significant drop, an extra 10 dB on top of what the door was already doing. So that's a very helpful reduction. My wife was downstairs and I was talking and she came up and said, wow, I couldn't even hear your voice at all. Normally we can. So it was enough to eliminate those annoying sounds. So to me, that's a really good thing for this product to do. Now, there are other ways you could soundproof a door, right? Soundproofing, again, is removing a sound, not treating for a sound. And a lot of people get that confused. They just use the word soundproofing as if it's, you know, it kind of encompasses every part of dealing with sound, but it doesn't. Soundproofing is preventing sound from getting from one place to another. Sound treatment is treating the way that sound sounds in a room. All right, so if you're creating a studio, you're trying to eliminate echo and reverb from within that room. But the point is that treating a room is very important if you're doing recording or if you're trying to create a listening space. Now these panels are soft, which is going to help you treat the inside of a room, and they have some density, so it's also helping so that you're actually doing some soundproofing. Okay, so if you're going to create a studio space and you're going to use, you know, a hard piece of concrete to do some soundproofing, sound is going to reflect on that and it's going to create an echo in your room. But putting this stuff on your door is actually going to treat the echo within a room and make your room sound better. And I measured this just near the doorway just to give an idea. And of course, if you were going to use these in a studio, you would have other treatment in the room as well. But basically, with the door open, right, there's no reflection because the sound can just travel right through the doorway and it doesn't bounce back, right? And at that rate, it was the RT60 number was about 0.4 of a second, all right? Now, once you closed the door, you actually lost about 0.04 of a second, or it took that much longer for the decay to happen. So 0.04 of a second. But once I put these panels on, it cut that back in half. So you gained back an extra 0.02 of a second. And that's a pretty significant gain as far as treating the sound in your room to make your room sound better. So the benefit of using these is that you actually get the combination of treating your room and soundproofing your room, in addition to the fact that it's easy to work with, because if you're somebody who you basically just have a flat door and you want to treat it, but you don't have construction skills to go using plywoods or, you know, trying to make up some other like high density soundproofing thing. You can buy this, it's fairly inexpensive, you can install it very easily, and it's going to look good when you're done. And it's going to treat your room. So there's a lot of benefits to using this product versus something that might be better just in the soundproofing category, because this is helpful in other ways. I really appreciate the way that these are made. They're very high quality. It's good stuff. And again, if this is something you want to try, you can use my discount code. It'll give you 10% off at checkout, AZ-JACKOFALL, and then you can go ahead and get 10% off on anything on their website. And this is the only product I've used from them so far, but I really think that it's high quality. I think it's a very useful product. It's worth every penny, and I think that you're going to think so too. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel, because this is the sort of thing that I like to tackle. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.